We gotta do is win. So if they sleep on you, tuck them in. Meet me at the top. If you bought, I'll drop my pin. So many stars in the making. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Uh-oh! Footy scoops in the sand! Yo!
Siren Papa!
You like that?
We outside right now, ladies and gentlemen. Listen,
Come on, man.
Mahit Latang. Let me
Najjah
tell
Caliber.
you. Listen, we have a very special guest,
Who we
highly
got?
favored and highly blessed. So don't study them, because the rest can't test. Multi-talented, all right? Incredible football player, played all over the world, all right? Also a recording artist, and she is none other than the Northern Super League's Halifax Tides, Tiff Cameron.
Sound it?
Listen, that's how we have to do it for you, you know.
I'm loving the intro
Come on, man.
though. I'm
Come
feeling
on,
the
man.
vibes.
Yeah.
Have you ever had an intro like that before?
No. I'm here for it though.
Yes. Glad you like it.
Appreciate you
Listen,
guys.
We gotta do that, man. Gotta push it out, man. Show the maximum respect because your story is mad. Your story is amazing. We love it. We absolutely love it.
Incredible.
Absolutely love it, man. We want to kick it off right now because knowing that you went high school, I mean, like grew up in Toronto and Mississauga and stuff like that. You're playing basketball and football. So let's start from there because I want to know when was it you said, listen, football's the way? Because I could have told you but it should have been from birth, football's the way, but it's all right. But when did you say, yeah, football is the way?
Talk to me nice.
I would say, okay, so I loved hockey. Cause
Yes.
I loved hockey.
Give me some.
I
Wow.
mean,
Yo, listen.
actually.
People we never, honestly, you know what I mean? It's one of the things we don't normally get the opportunity as much, but you come here and you see it's a great game,
Yeah.
right? If you can skate and you have the equipment. So I could see that relation.
Yeah.
I can see that.
But my mom was like, it's too expensive. She's
Yes.
like, find something cheaper. I say,
Yeah.
excuse me. But I was always playing soccer in elementary school with the boys
Right.
from young, like from
Okay.
when I was like 6, 7, 8, and they would always be like, Tiff, you should join a league and stuff. And I'm like, but I like hockey, you know? And then I still kept playing, and eventually I said, you know what? I wanna join a soccer league. So when I was 9, I went with North Mississauga.
All right.
Yeah, and then I was there for like about a year or so, and then went to Erin Mills, and they helped with a lot of exposure. We traveled, to Sweden actually for Gothia Cup. That was cool.
What was that like to go to Europe at that age?
It was cool.
How
like,
old
'cause-
were you then?
I was like about maybe 15, 16.
15
yeah,
years old.
yeah, yeah.
15 years old
Amazing.
going to Sweden.
That's a dream.
Yeah.
That's a dream.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah, and we played against like teams from all around the world, so
Yeah.
it was like really good exposure for us.
Okay.
And in terms of the exposure, really quickly, just to touch on this, because sometimes when you think, I'm in Canada, maybe we're not good enough. What was it like when you actually got a chance to play against them? When did you realize, maybe, I have something, or we're actually pretty good? Like, what was that like when you first played over there?
I mean,
Competition levels, you know what I mean?
The competition level was great because different countries come with a different type of flavor, you know.
Right.
So it was really cool to play different countries out there, and I realized though that it was for me. I think when I was like 14. I was playing with Team Ontario, and we would go. My mom would drive me every weekend. We would have to wake up at like 5:30, 6 in the morning.
Shout out to mom, dudes.
Yep,
Always, yep.
So then we drove to Vaughan, and my coach was Brian Rosenfeld, great man. He had us like watching The Secret. I don't know if you ever watched that.
Yeah.
We didn't know what was going on, but now I'm like, wow, he's brilliant for at a young age introducing us to
Planting
that.
those seeds for manifestation.
Yeah, and
That's amazing.
he spoke to my mom. He told her, he's like, Tiff has a really great talent. She can go very far if she takes it seriously. He's like, I'm her biggest fan, and he would push me. But it was interesting though, because when I was like 16, I actually wanted to quit. I'm
Really?
like, because I was so tired of waking up on Saturday and Sundays. I'm like, mommy, like
You just
I
watch
want to
X-Men.
be, I want to be a
Saturday morning
regular.
cartoon, yeah.
I want to do some regular kid activities.
Right,
Like I
right,
want to go
right.
to parties and stuff.
Yep,
When
yep.
you're young, you just. So I told her that, yeah.
But you sacrificed though.
Yeah, and she told me she really spat some truth to me. She said, Tiff, you work so hard, you have this talent. She's like, also, you can get an education for free, if you continue doing what you're doing, and you're so close playing for Team Canada. Why would you throw that all away?
Right.
And I looked at her, I was like, wow. I'm like, she's right.
Yeah.
And that was a really life-changing moment for me as a young child. Listening to her and having that support system. You know, not everyone has that. And I think if I didn't have her to like speak logic to me like that, and she's like, you know, it would make life easier for me and also for her, you know, in terms of my education. I'm so happy that I took her in. Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah, and I went to Ohio State for 4
Buckeyes,
years.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yes,
one
man.
of the best decisions I've ever made.
Now listen, speaking of the Buckeyes and stuff, I was gonna jump into that because this is I love this one. You had a 12-year record. 12 years, you know.
I held that down.
The leading sport. Listen, let me
them.
talk to you. Like, listen, Tiffany Cameron, put some respect on her name, yeah. 12 years. So 2012, you graduated from Ohio State,
Yes,
right?
yeah.
Career, 40 career goals.
Yes.
Yeah. This record was only broken in 2024
Yep.
by 1 goal.
I know.
You mean?
I
By
know.
1 goal.
I know.
By
I
1
said
goal.
shoot,
God,
but
listen.
I still have the all season record, not the all time.
Yeah.
So someone still has to score. I think like what 21.
So you're
more than
on the
21
book
goals.
still. You're on the
Right,
book.
right,
Yeah, so at least I have
Listen,
that.
I love that. I love
I'm like,
that. I love
all right,
that.
I can think.
Regardless, it's
Yeah,
an
but-
incredible benchmark.
Mate,
Yeah.
12-year
about
record.
it,
Like,
right?
that just shows the levels and the standards that you put in, man. And then, mate, and then you start the pro journey.
Yeah,
Then you start
yeah,
the pro journey.
and shout outs to my coach, Coach Lori Walker. She pushed me as well too. She said, "Tiff, you don't have to stop here." She's
Right.
like, "You could definitely play professionally, you know." And she's like, "Looking to possibly go into NWSL."
So what was that? I was just gonna say, what was that process like in terms of, going professional? So in terms of getting an agent or not having an agent, shopping yourself around. What was that process like?
Yeah, I think having an agent and being represented outside of Canada is very important. So I spoke to Desi Scott. You know, she had an agent at the time, and I asked her if she could recommend anyone for me. So at the time, she was with this gentleman, and she connected us, and he actually got me my first overseas contract in Germany,
Yes.
Bundesliga in Hoffenheim.
Hoffenheim.
Yeah, see, I said, see, I'm in Spain now. I just came from Spain though. I'm like, and I'm warping it too. Yeah.
So
I'm Venetian means a little.
All right, so Tiffany's here, as you can tell, she's here in Europe. Like, she's here in Europe. You mean? So, yes, so you're speaking, yes, you can speak German and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I don't need spoken. That's the only phrase I know.
That's
Yeah.
That's pretty much. But yeah, so you did Germany, you did Hungary,
Yes.
you did Cyprus,
Yeah.
you did Israel,
Yeah.
Norway, Sweden.
Sweden.
Like, come on, man, it's.
I've had quite the journey.
Trust. So okay, not to skip over none of that, but okay. So we're starting off in Germany. You're away from home. You mean? As you fresh out of university as well. So, like when you're having that moment, like yo, like this is
I'm
it.
here.
Like,
I've
yeah.
arrived.
Yeah.
You must have,
Talk to us about
It was tough though, just because I went to a city that wasn't like big. It was like St. Leon-Roth and some random city, and it was hard because not a lot of the players spoke English.
Mm-hmm.
And before I left, I asked my agent at the time. I said, "Hey, so do the staff speak English? Like players?" He's like, "Yeah, you'll be fine." I went there, and then maybe like 4 players spoke English or 3, and then the assistant coach knew a little tiny bit of English, couple words.
Right.
My head coach, 0 English. I was like, wow, this is gonna be real tough, you know?
Right.
I mean, and I would say it was year 2 for me playing professionally because I was playing in the NWSL for a year and then I left. That was tough for sure, you know. But I think it's really important to take yourself out of your comfort zone, you know, because you don't grow, you don't learn about yourself and what you
1000%.
need. That's why I made it a point for me to travel around the world, you know. And I even said in my song that I dropped, like I travel around the world and back. But really though, and I think that's so important because I learned so much about myself and, you know, and I grew.
And
big
you
time.
get to experience. When you travel, I was going to ask you from a football standpoint, soccer standpoint.
Yeah, I know it's hard. It's hard to,
Wait, it's not hard for me.
How did those experiences, international experiences with these different clubs in different countries, as you know, they play different systems. How did that shape who you are? You know.
I think I was able to adapt to many different cultures, and I think that's so important to get dropped in a room and like deal with it, whether you're used to this culture or not.
Powerful.
Yeah.
It's a
So
good lesson
now,
for people, honestly.
yeah. So now when I enter a room, like I don't feel any type of way because I'm like I've literally dealt with so many different cultures.
Right.
And the only thing is sometimes like
Powerful.
code switching. Like sometimes I gotta like simmer down a little bit. Like I couldn't bring this type of energy in certain areas
I totally
overseas.
get it because I host around
So
the
you're
world.
like,
I totally
she's
get
so
it.
extra.
Yeah,
so I
yeah.
had to like dim it down a little bit. That's why I'm happy though I'm back in Canada because I can just
Yeah.
my authentic self
Yeah.
fully.
Good. Yeah.
Good for
No
you.
chill, no filter. This is me.
Speaking
You know.
of this is you. I mean, you got a chance on the international level to play for Canada and for Jamaica.
Yeah.
Like, what was, first of all, talk about the first call up for Canada. I mean, my goodness, to pay for, get called up to the national program.
Especially after what your mum said when you were young.
I know.
Right?
Like, what was that? What was that feeling like?
That was huge for me, just because I knew that my life could have went a completely different direction, you know, and I was emotional, you know, because I'm like, wow, I actually made it. Like, I'm going with my mom to New Zealand because it was U17. That was my first World Cup.
Okay.
With Canada, and yeah, I just was like mind blown that I did it.
Can you
know?
imagine, right?
Yeah.
From Mississauga, look where
Yeah.
you are now.
What was that? So you said you're going to New Zealand with your mum, obviously with the team and stuff, but you're with your mum and stuff. So what was that? You guys are home. You guys are packing. Like you be like, you know what I'm saying? Like what's
Yeah,
that?
like we're here
Yeah,
now.
like
Like
that
we're really
buzz, man.
doing it.
Yeah.
That's why my mom's my biggest fan, because I always just think about her, even through my toughest moments throughout football. I just remember that voice. Like, you've came this far, Tiffany. Why would you throw that all away?
Yeah.
So unless like my passion for the game completely disappears, then you know, like
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep playing. You know, why stop
Right.
if I'm enjoying what I'm doing? And it's like I'm also more than just a footballer as well too. Like I want to inspire like the younger generation and also show them how important it is to love who you are, embrace who you are.
Yeah.
You know?
And I mean, in terms of like these women's professional leagues, again in Canada, especially growing up, we didn't have what we are playing in right now.
Yeah.
So it was amazing that you were able to outsource and go abroad and see what's happening. And it's amazing to see how the women's game has grown to now.
Yeah.
You know, as you know,
Big time.
2019 in France.
Yeah.
You know, 2023,
Three.
all right,
Yeah.
in New Zealand and Australia. I mean, my goodness. So, I mean,
Listen.
it's crazy because when I saw you, I was like, oh my gosh, that's her. Because I mean, I was hosting the Women's World Cup in 2019 in France.
Yeah, that's
and I
cool.
was, which was amazing. And then I was hosting the 2023, but I was stationed more in New Zealand. I came to Australia after. But to see what the, you know, I don't want to skip too much, but I just wanted to talk about what that felt like to be a part of that magical journey with Jamaica, you know, in the World Cup, to tie France, you know, I mean heavyweights, to go to advance, to be a part of the first victory ever for Jamaica in a World Cup. What was that experience like?
Just before you answer that. Just before
Yeah.
you answer that. Just before you answer that one. Just before you answer, because that's we got to get to the switch.
Yes,
We
okay.
got- do you mean?
Okay.
Yeah,
when,
yeah.
When you went from Canada
Yeah.
to Jamaica.
All right, sure.
We got to get the switch.
Yeah, okay, all right,
All
wait.
Yes.
Where do we start?
Let's
Like,
start with
Well,
Canada. Yeah.
listen,
How did that switch come about, and how do you feel you benefited from that?
okay, so after the World Cup and for the U17 World Cup, I went to college at Ohio State University. And then I did really well there, and then I got called up with the senior team for the first time. That was an amazing experience, you know. And I was there for a little bit, but I had like a couple of friendlies and stuff, appearances and everything. But I wasn't like consistent. After I would say 2013, I wasn't a consistent call up. So I remember Coach Busby, he reached out to me and he said, Tiff, like, I'd love to jump on a phone call with you and talk about a possibility of you becoming a reggae girl one day. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I didn't want to, I knew I still had passion to play for Canada,
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
because I was still in Germany at the time, but I wanted to stay open
Right.
to that conversation. So we jumped on the phone and he's like, yeah, these are the things that we want that moving forward for the federation as well. And, you know, and we're going to try and implement contracts for players and stuff and make it more of a professional environment. And he said this is going to take a time. It's a process, you know.
Right.
And I said, okay, I think we should keep in touch. I'm not ready right now to make the switch, you know. But I said, we'll keep in touch. And then a couple years later, the Team Jamaica, they qualified for the World Cup. And I was watching my really good friend, Nicole McClure. She was the goalkeeper at the time. She got subbed into, and she saved great penalties. And I remember I was so proud of her. Because I'm like, your moment is going to come. Don't worry. Stay patient, you know. and she crushed it. And I was up at like 2 a.m. watching the game.
games.
I was in Sweden at the time, and I was going, and literally, I would say maybe 45 minutes to an hour after they qualified, I got an email from Coach Busby. He said, Tiffany, I wonder if you would you like to reconsider revisit this conversation? I said, absolutely.
Yes.
Like,
Yo,
I'm like, now's the time, because why would I try and stick around and hope to be a consistent call-up for Canada if there's Jamaica that's valuing me a little bit more, or seeing me more as an asset.
Yep.
You know,
Exactly.
I did contribute with Team Canada, and I loved my time playing there. And you know, I made a lot of really good friends and stuff. But I still think at the end of the day, the opportunity was more in my face for Jamaica. And I'm like, well, now it's if I make the swap, I can't go back. So it's like I had to be 100% sure about my decision.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, it's time. It's time to do that. And it literally was one of the best decisions I've ever made.
Clearly. The Reggae Girls came on the scene.
Yep.
Let me tell you.
2 years, 2 World Cups later.
Yeah,
like,
man, unbelievable. Like, France was my first time really seeing the women's game on a level, and I was like, oh my goodness. And it was a fantastic thing. But to see what you guys were able to do, it was historic. It was so much inspiration for Caribbean girls, for everybody. The story for the Reggae Girls and what you were able to accomplish. You know, a small island in Jamaica playing against these heavyweights. You guys don't understand. And I mean, it was, and the skill level and everything, the football IQ, the athleticism, everything was just so phenomenal. And it was just so inspiring, to be a part of that, right?
Yeah, I love a good underdog story.
Right.
You know,
Literally.
a lot of fans thought, going into the tournament, oh, there's no chance the Reggae Girls are getting out of that group. Having France, Brazil, Panama, it's tough, and we knew it was going to be tough. But that group was special. We were a family.
You felt it. You felt it. You
everyone,
could see it. You felt it.
And everyone knew their role.
Right.
Like whether you were a starter, a sub, or in between that, or even a cheerleader, or it didn't matter. Everyone embraced their role and felt really important.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important, to know your role on a team and feel valued.
Yes.
And that's why we were able to do what we did at the World Cup.
Yeah,
We're a family.
I mean, they sent Brazil packing. I just want to say, just sent Brazil packing, right? So got eliminated against Colombia in the round of 16. But I mean, again, everything, the match was phenomenal too. The competition was incredible. So yeah, I mean, we just can't believe it. And then, I also want to talk about, you love playing football. But I mean, I heard this song and I was like, oh, who the hell's spitting on this song? This girl's spitting hard. I'm like, what's popping with this thing today? You know what I'm saying? And lo and behold, we found out it's you, and we're talking about the NSL's theme song, the anthem, Victory. Yeah. And we want to talk a little bit about your music journey, because all night you're playing kicking ball. Obviously, you're writing song and you're doing thing. How did that passion develop, and who inspired you to get involved in that?
I was writing music from elementary school, and it was terrible at first. But I loved listening. Growing up, I loved listening to like Foxy Brown, 50 Cent, Eminem.
Lyricist.
So I don't know. I would just always write random stuff, and then eventually I started taking it a little bit more seriously when I got into high school, and then. When I went to Columbus, Ohio, for school, I went to the studio for the first time, and I was like, oh, this is really fun. I made a Buckeyes Put Your Hands Up song. There's actually a music video on YouTube. It was so fun. I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, that was me. I look like a little child. But it was so fun. But that's when I started taking my music a little bit more seriously.
Right.
I'm like, you know what? This could be a good hobby, but also I'm good at it. So.
And it's therapeutic,
Exactly.
It's therapeutic, the creative process.
Exactly.
Seeing something, a concept coming in your head, to writing it down, to actually recording it. I mean, that whole process. What do you enjoy more? Do you enjoy more recording the material and making it one, or do you enjoy more performing it?
Ooh, wow.
I do a little music myself. That's why I was interested.
I think I like the process of making the song, like sitting there, having an instrumental in mind, and working on the structure of the instrumental, and then just like writing. But for me, I don't write a song right all in one piece. Like I'll think about some things during random moments.
Yeah. But that's like me. I got ADHD, so I'll get glitches in songs. I'll get like 2 bars here, 2 bars here. And then when I put it all together, I'm like, wow, okay, I got something. You know? And it's like, here we go, right? But all along the same lines. So, I mean, you got a chance to, you know, do a song with a Juno-nominated artist. A great touch on local. You were able to get with Jamila. Shout out to Jamila, first of all.
Yeah, big up yourself, Jamila.
Yo, straight good, you know what I'm saying? Juno-nominated reggae artist, you know what I'm saying, in 2024. How did she become a part of this package? Like, how did that happen?
So a fan actually reached out to me and was like, congrats on signing for the Halifax Tides. There's actually a really cool reggae artist. Her name's Jamila, and she lives in Halifax. She's like, you guys should connect. She's like, she loves you. And I'm like, oh, and she was following me. I didn't know. And I reached out to her. I said, hey, girl, like, and she was like, oh my gosh, like, she was just so taken back. And I said, I'd love to meet up with you sometime, you know?
Right.
Just like hang out. I invited her to, I think, 2 of my games last year. And then I told her, I said, you know what, like I'm thinking about possibly making a song for the league. I'd love for you to be a part of that project. And she's like, I would love that too.
Yeah.
You know, and I really respect her though, because she has such a busy schedule, but she made the time. She saw, she understood the assignment.
She understood the assignment,
Yeah. And I also like commend her too, because she went through a tough time last year. She was diagnosed with cancer, and you know, that was really tough for her. But she just, music was her therapy. Music, and she told me, she's like, Tiff, like, I'm so happy to do this project with you. Because anytime we would get together, it was just like energy. It was lit. Like, we had so much, like, I just felt so full after being around her and her presence, you know? I think that's so inspiring as well, too, to see someone who struggling with their health, but that hasn't stopped them from doing what they love, you know?
No, I know. And because if you just, you know, get in a moment of pity or, you know, that's so damaging. So for you to give, for her to have something to focus on, and you know, for her to show that strength and energy, you know, it's something you could use for other things, you know, some life skills. But
and sometimes she would apologize to me, Tiff, like, it's been hard, I've been so busy. I'm like, don't apologize, girl, I got you. Like, I had to make some executive decisions while I was away in Toronto putting together the song without her for some things, because she needed the time, like, to heal, and you know,
1,000%.
it was tough, but she trusted, like, I'm like, don't worry, I got this, girl. Okay. So we worked really well together. We definitely will put out some more music, for sure.
There's more tunes in the
For sure.
More tunes in the chamber.
So in terms of the production, because the beats, I'm loving everything about the song. So I heard, I was like, this is slapping.
Yeah.
So who you got to shout out the producer. Who made the beat?
Of course. So myself and my producer, I've known this gentleman for over 15 years. His name's David Leon.
Okay.
He works in Toronto. Yeah, in Toronto.
Yeah.
He's great. Fantastic. At first, when I came down here to Toronto to start working on a song, I was like, you know what? I would love for him to actually make my instrumental. But I'm like, no, I'm actually good at making instrumentals too. So we should both like, yeah. So we got into the studio. We just putting together some sound and stuff. Funny. So there's a violin in the instrumental. I had, you know how you can have on in a program you can put a violin there and then you could play whatever. I don't play the violin, but I had in my head, I knew what I wanted to hear. So I was just kind of messing around with the strings, and I'm like, that's it. So there's a melody, the violin, I made it, and I never played the violin in my life, but I just had, this is the thing about the creativity, the creative aspect of things. It's like, I love just like going with the flow, and if I feel something, I'm like, that's it.
Sometimes we feel like a conduit, right? You know what I mean? We're obviously getting it from a higher source, you know, Most High. And it's a beautiful moment when you're able to catch these things and, you know, apply them, and you're like, wow.
Yes,
and
exactly.
look at this.
So when did you go to the league saying, listen, I have a tune for you guys that you mean that's gonna represent the entire league? 'Cause I know you want to make sure you was hitting all the teams, all the rest of it, when you did that amazingly. So when did you say
So I didn't even have the song. Okay. I had the vision. I had the
secret, man. Remember, she had the secret from early, man. She manifested from early.
I said, I want to do this, and I think I'm capable of doing it, and I just reached out to them. They're like, oh, like, that sounds really cool. We've never had like
Yeah,
player ask us to do that, and they're like, well, send us your music. Because of course you can't be like, yeah, sure, and then the artist is crap. I'm sorry. So they looked into it, and they're like, and they loved they actually loved. There's a song called "For the Love of the Game" that I put out
after
in
Jamaica.
and they were like, can you make a remix to this? I'm like, too late. Like I'm already starting the process of
a new one.
making a brand new.
Fresh.
Because I think that's what I should do. Like it's a
100%,
brand new lead,
100%.
you know. So. Yeah, it was quite the process. It took me a couple months to actually get the whole song finished. But it was really fun, especially making the instrumental with David. It was funny though. Like, and then there would be times too where I'd be overseas. Well, I was traveling with the national team somewhere, and then we would get on like a video call, and he's like, "Yo, Tiff, I think I have a sound for this. Do you like this?" So I'm like, "Yeah, no," but it was just back and forth.
Yeah.
But we worked really well together, you know, and he was very punctual as well too. And so I'm really happy that I chose him. Because I could have chose like a random producer maybe in Halifax or whatever, but I'm like, no, I want him because it's like personal, you know? So
That makes it mean more, right?
Yes,
You're
yes.
more connected to it. That's very cool. That's very cool. Speaking of obviously, as you're talking about what music does for you and just kind of writing all the rest of it, when you were traveling throughout Europe to in the different teams and stuff were you kind of still writing stuff down? Not to really produce, but still writing them because that was a comfort for you?
Yeah. I love talking about my journey, you know, the highs and the lows. I think that's really important because like us players, we go through a lot, you know? So I always will write down things. Maybe I'll start like a song and then I'm gonna get to that later, you know, and then when I'm feeling inspired, then I'll add to it. I love adding to songs, you know, because you're not gonna, it's just life. You don't have everything figured out. You just have to gradually put things together.
1,000%.
That's why I love making the song for the lead because it was a gradual process.
Right.
You know, I'm like,
Very
I gotta, and I really had to really think about.
Because you know.
I had to really think about what I was saying and why.
And make it witty.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
and
The
fun.
punchlines. Give me something.
Yeah.
That's dope, man. For sure, man. So I mean, I just want to know, like, you know, in terms of confidence, where did you get your confidence for the young girls out there, and just for everybody? Where did you get your confidence from, and what did you do? What do you do when you start to feel down and you're not feeling yourself? Because I mean, we're not always on 100, but you obviously have a confidence to be able to say, "Hey, I'm gonna go talk to the league before I even write the song." Like, you know, this is powerful stuff, you know, and this is the way we should move. Right, with faith first. So, you know, where did you get this confidence from? I know, obviously, through your mom, but
Mommy Cameron.
How could you explain to the girls about how you can overcome when you don't feel confident?
So, I would say, I get my confidence from God. That's my number one. You know, of course, everyone believes in different things, but God has always been my number one go-to when I'm feeling high, when I'm feeling low. He keeps me centered. He keeps me humble, and then he also reveals things to me as like life goes on. And I think that's where I was like, like I felt like this is something that I needed to do.
Yeah.
Of course, my mom is also a great support system as well. She loves me. She's very honest with me as well too. She was even a part of the making of the song. I'm like, Mommy, what do you think about this? She's like, it's missing something. She's like, it needs more like triumph. I said, okay. Like, go upstairs, like do something. Like, what about this now? She's like, that's it.
Wow.
That Mick.
No,
so
that is amazing.
Yeah.
Because sometimes the parents aren't really feeling it, or
No,
they're
my
just
mom's
caught up in
honest.
their own life, or they just, you know. So to have that support system is clear. You know, it's helped you throughout your career.
Yeah, shout out to Yvonne.
Listen,
That's
we
what
got to have Mommy Cameron on the chairs too and interview you.
And my sister as well too. She's always been there like for me, like on and off the field.
Yeah, she's Shani, right?
Yeah, Shani.
So I love the name Shani. I have a cousin named Shani. So I see Shani, I said, what? I said, she was on one of her songs back in the day. I did the research, God. Did the research.
Okay. She's great too. And then lastly, Winnie Harlow, like I look at her, you know, obviously with my skin vitiligo, she really embraced her skin from a young age and just showed that it doesn't matter what you look like. You could make something of yourself, you know? So her walking with confidence, her just doing everything that she's doing, being on Vogue magazines and all of that, I love seeing that because it's like, it doesn't matter, even though her skin has changed drastically throughout the years.
Right.
you know, she still embraces. She loves herself.
Powerful. That
So I
means
look
no
at
more.
I look at her and I'm like, I could do that too, but be an athlete version of her.
Right,
And then we can link
1000%.
up later,
Yeah.
and then we can do a photo shoot.
Hey, yeah, no,
Rep
seriously.
Jamaica,
But this
you know?
is exactly what it's all about. You know, just being our authentic self, and you know, this external, quote unquote, way we're supposed to be. And it's beautiful to break these barriers and to
Yes.
show people, yeah,
Yes.
what it is to be your authentic self and embrace yourself. Because, like you said, it's all through God, right?
Yes,
which is
absolutely.
powerful. And I feel your passion, girl.
Yeah.
You guys are awesome, man.
Thank
We
you.
gotta talk about life in Halifax. though.
Yes,
Ooh.
we do.
Let's talk about life in Halifax.
Yeah.
Please, let's talk about it.
Let's talk about the food in Halifax first. 'Cause-
Ooh, yeah. Okay, I
on.
love Halifax. And you know, it's so interesting because I would have never have thought to travel there or move there, you
Right.
know? And of course, football brings you to like a lot of places.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, it's
Brings
very
you to a lot of places.
Yeah, well, yeah, in general, yeah. I'm a water person, so to be surrounded by water too, and I have my car out there, just like sometimes I go on random drives and stuff. You know,
Right.
the food is good as well too. I've been to a couple of different Caribbean restaurants as well, and
on
the
this side-
seafood,
Right. I was about to say,
Seafood
have you
is-
had the fresh lobster rolls yet?
so good.
So good. I love the
So
fresh
good.
lobster rolls.
Oh
out
my
there.
goodness.
I've been up to Halifax. So
Yes,
I love the fresh lobster
the
rolls.
best.
Shout out to the lobster rolls.
Yeah. So I've really enjoyed my time there, you know, and I like that too. I could get different vibes from different places. Like I have a DJ friend out there, and he tells me like some cool like reggae dancehall,
Right.
R&B like events, and they're chill. They're not like rock out crazy. They're like, okay, I'm gonna go catch a vibe, you know.
Right.
So I'll randomly go out to like events if he's having one and stuff. So that's cool,
Yeah.
you know.
The dynamic within the team now. I mean, with all due maximum respect, you know, being a elder stateshead within the team.
Me and abuela.
Veteran.
Being
Yeah.
a veteran, there we go. Being a veteran in the
Yep.
team. So what's that like as far as the dynamic goes? Kind of just having like that leadership space.
That's important because, of course, like I've played professionally for a very long time, and I know my input is valued, you know, but I don't have all the answers for everyone. I also think sometimes it's important, you know, if you have a younger group to also allow them to actually experience how it is to play professionally and not try and give them all the answers.
Right.
You know, so, but I'm there as a guidance, you know, I think that's really important, and encouragement. I'm big on that, you know, whether someone makes a mistake or they make a great pass or goal, like I'm going to be there to support. I think
is
that's so
powerful.
important.
It is.
Because I think athletes have this thing about wanting to show up perfect, and that's impossible.
I know.
And then when you make a mistake and you get in your head, then you just
live with it for too
yeah,
long.
and you're just
You can't
down
move
here.
on. Yes,
so
yes.
I don't like seeing people get in their heads. So I'm always constantly be like, it's okay, don't worry, the next
shake it off.
one. You know,
Right.
I know you don't mean to make a bad pass. I don't mean to make a bad pass. It
Right.
happens, but it's the reaction, how you move from that, you know,
Yeah.
to getting over things quicker.
Yeah.
So
And how's the training staff, the coach? How's everyone?
great.
Yep.
I you know, we added a lot this year, and you could see it on the field as well, like with our recruitment on and off the field.
Right.
And I think it's been great so far. I've been really pleased.
Halifax Tides,
Yeah.
the Northern Super
So
League.
you're looking forward to second season?
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
This is it.
Yeah.
Yes, so we understand your coach, Stephen Hart, is actually from Trinidad. Is that true?
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Island man.
So what kind of vibes is he bringing to the team, you know, that is reminiscent of that whole island vibe, happy feeling around the camp and everything?
Steven is actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Like he is so funny and very like laid back, you know, but also he'll push his players, you know, and he just says the funniest things. And it reminds you of not to take yourself so seriously.
Right.
You know, as an athlete, we go on the field, yes, we're competing and stuff, but he wants us to feel good, you know, and he always says the right things as well too. Quite motivational as well when he needs to be, not over the top.
Right.
But yeah, he's a good guy.
All right, he broke out like a shark and bakes here or a doubles or something? Were you
Not-
to the team yet?
Well, he hasn't brought that out to the team yet,
all right.
but he has time. Yeah. We're waiting. We're all waiting for that.
What's happening?
But I
Bring it up.
will give him this. He is great with recommending places to eat in Halifax. He's, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's and then at this stage in your career, how do you see, what is the value you get from him as a coach at this stage in your career? in terms
I
of communication and different things like that.
Yeah, I like that he's chill. Like it's easy to have a conversation with him. I think that's really important when you're coaching players like that they feel that they can be comfortable to come up to you and have a honest
real
conversation.
about, yeah.
Yeah. Because even for me, I want to get into coaching later. Like I have my B license.
Oh, nice.
And that's something
Okay.
that I want to get into. So it's been great to actually travel around the world to see what a good coach looks like and what a not so good coach
Right.
looks like. And then now to put together all those pieces as well. So I take away a lot from Steven and how he runs things because I like his approach.
Right.
You know?
can see a lot. You can
Yeah.
see a lot of that in you.
Yes,
Right,
yes,
right,
definitely,
right.
definitely.
Well, listen, Steven, I'm from Grenada. So
Yeah.
listen, we neighbors there, boy.
Yeah.
All right? We have to come out there. Yo, listen.
We're going to Halifax.
We need to
We're
get
going
to
to
Halifax.
Yeah, pull up.
Yeah,
Pull
all right.
up.
So, yo, shout out to Steven Hart and the
Yeah.
Halifax Tides.
That's it.
Well, listen, all I want to tell you before we go, we have one other thing we do because it's been an absolute pleasure to rock with you, girl. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? We can't wait to hear some new music. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Continue to see success on the pitch. But I got to ask you a question here.
Okay.
We have something called who, what, and why that I got to ask
Okay,
you. All
okay.
right? And you just tell me, you choose one.
Okay.
All right? It's going to be machine gun, just and
Okay,
then
okay.
tell me why, okay?
Okay.
So first and foremost, okay? Steel cut oatmeal or ackee and saltfish?
Ackee and saltfish.
And why, though?
It's the best breakfast like,
Come
ever.
on.
Like
Come on.
what?
Listen,
Come on now.
Listen,
Come
I
on
want to find out.
now.
The people want to know.
Come on
okay?
now.
Okay, for a goal, a diving header or a screamer from outside the box?
Screamer for outside the box.
And why?
Cause like
Bullshit.
that, yeah, but
All
like,
right, listen.
come on now.
Listen, I know you're already rocking this, but I gotta ask, all right? For football,
Yeah.
not for personal, all right?
Okay,
Not
okay.
for personal. Adidas or Nike
Adidas.
on the pitch, and why?
I mean,
Star
I
Wars.
just
The Star
like
Wars.
it's. I've always loved their clothing line.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always loved and how it's just fitted. It's nice. Yeah, I look good.
All right, there we go. Rihanna or Beyonce,
Rihanna.
and why?
Just vibes. Island girl things though.
All right. Listen. All right. Now, Christine Sinclair or Martha?
Christine Sinclair.
Okay, and why?
She's Canadian. I grew up playing with her. She's the most humble player ever. I know she retired, but
scorer.
like, yeah, all time. She just. I love Marta though too.
Yeah,
Both of them. I
No,
idolize.
two
legends,
iconic
legends,
people.
yeah, yeah.
Two
But
iconic.
Christine Sinclair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love it. I love it.
Shout out to
Okay, Cardi or Nicki Minaj?
Cardi.
Okay, and why?
She's more raw. I mean, Nicki Minaj with her Barbie things, like, okay, cool, but Cardi's more raw and authentic. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, workout in the AM or PM?
PM.
And why?
I like my sleep.
All right. All right, and last one we're gonna ask you is Ronaldo or Messi?
Messi.
And why?
Because
come on, man.
yeah, like he's the all-time goal, and I like also that he's humble on and off the field, and he's
Right.
just a family man, and you could tell he doesn't just care about scoring; he cares about feeding to his players around him.
You heard it here first.
Yeah,
You heard
he's a
it here
leader.
first,
He's
ladies
a
and
leader.
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Tiff Cameron, it's been absolute pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mother's Day's coming up. Mummy Cameron,
Yeah,
trust
yeah.
me.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for this one.
Love
Thank
you.
you. Yes,
Absolutely.
We love you, Ivan.
Thank you
Footy
very
Scoops
much.
to the 6, and we want to shout out Tiff Cameron, the Northern Super League. Check out her incredible single Victory featuring none other than Jamelia. All right, listen, unbelievable. Big things popping. Northern Super League second season. Halifax Tides. Let's go.
Boom.
Boom.